Then number 2, Indiana. I mean, Indiana. We got to talk about it. Now they're 10-0. They're the only 10-2 team, 10-0 team. Are only 9-0, but they'll get there eventually, I'm sure. But Indiana went on the road in Beaver Stadium at Penn State, Jack. Tough environment, and it looked like they were taking control of it for a while. I believe their biggest lead was 20-7, something of that nature. But then they fall apart. Penn State scores and scores and scores, and then all of a sudden, Penn State has a lead, and then Indiana has to punt, and then Penn State gets the first down. I stopped watching it. I did not think Indiana was going to find a way to win, and I mean, Jack, was that Fernando Mendoza's Heisman moment? I mean, the throws he made on that last drive, so incredible. And it felt like one after another. And it's like the catches kept getting better and better. And it's funny because I believe it was the throw to the tight end. And as you can see, I'm blanking on his name. It's like that one won't even be talked about because of what happened right after. But like so many incredible catches and crunch time plays. This is what good teams do. They find a way to win. And any win in November is a good win. It's tough to win in this month, as we know in college football. It's just like crunch time. And Indiana, Jack. I mean, you want to get into it? Man.
Yeah, for sure. This was a crazy game. One of the best of the weekend. You could say maybe the Vandy Auburn or the Oregon Iowa was as good, but this probably is the best game of the weekend. But this was insane. I mean, Indiana was ahead for most of this game.
Right.
And like you said, you thought it was over, but that when they kept scoring and then Mendoza threw that pick in his own territory, that was a crazy moment, and they took the lead. Just insane. I think this is, you could absolutely put him in that category of Heisman.
Right.
I still think Julian Sainz probably still there. Chambliss probably it's probably those three guys. But yeah, crazy game. And that toe tap was one of the best catches I've ever seen. I don't even know how we give a lot of props to the ref on the field who knew how he even got his foot down and knew to call it the correct way.
I couldn't believe he called it good on the field. And he was in the way too. He had like to get out of the way, and like the amount of control and like discipline that Omar Cooper had on that play, because you see him, he's up in the air and he gets like possession, like he gets control of it so fast, and then he's purely focused on trying to drag those feet, and it looks like he tried to get the right one down, but it was too late, and then he sticks the left one back into it as the Penn State guy is trying to push him out of bounds. I mean, it was just so incredible. And it was kind of interesting because it felt like they got like that huge play, and it was Charlie Becker who had that huge catch, and somehow he ended up like getting his foot down as he was falling out of bounds. That was a huge play. And then 1st and goal, 2nd and goal, nothing's going their way, and then it really almost felt like he was throwing it away, like he was throwing it out the back of the end zone to live another down. But Cooper goes up and snags it, and then somehow finds a way to drag his foot. And I mean, Gus Johnson and Joel Klatt had such an incredible call of this game. Like, I'm sick of people not like. I'm really confused why people don't like energetic commentators, like guys like Gus Johnson, the Hornets announcer Kevin Harlan. Like, I really appreciate when announcers like it really sounds like they care. And nothing against Al Michaels. I know he's a legend and I know he's aging, but like when you watch a great play and Al Michaels has to call, you're gonna tell me you're more hyped up than when Gus Johnson's doing it. But anyways, like really incredible stuff from Omar Cooper. And I mean, Mendoza, I mean, he had struggled in this game. He had to pick in his own territory in the 4th, but he really made up for it in such a big way, Jack.
He really did. And Surratt, his number one wide receiver, was out this game, and Omar Cooper was kind of filling in. So even more impressive that he was able to do this. But this is what I want to see more from the Big Ten, you know? Like a team with like a negative record, 3-6 Penn State, go in there and almost take down number 2 Indiana. This is kind of what we saw recently when Florida took on Georgia and almost took them down. Like you see that all the time in the SEC. Like Mississippi State almost took down Texas, or Kentucky almost took down Texas. You know, it's
And
very
Mississippi State
competitive, and I wish we got more because you never.
Right.
And you just don't see that a lot in the Big Ten. Like you never see Maryland almost take down, or Rutgers, or UCLA.
Yeah.
You know, I just wish we saw that more. But yeah, the Big Ten just has so many teams in it now. Like it's not as competitive as it once was. But I hope we see it more. But it's great that Penn State's really able to fight, even with the season that's pretty much dead. You know, like there's so much talent on that roster. And you could say probably more talented than
Well, the
Indiana
talent
is, but
composite is way better.
Indiana's
Yeah.
season's very much alive. Right. And just, yeah, so many more 5-star athletes and just it's more athletic. But Indiana just has a better unit and a better team. So that's how they got the win. But yeah, such a great victory. And yeah, just really impressive from Indiana because if you looked at it, I mean, they were like really close from going fourth
I
and goal
know.
and just it was just so
Right. They almost
close.
picked
And
off on second down.
I was just surprised they were able to do it. Right. It's just insane. Insane adversity from this team to go down there.
Right. I mean, yeah, I know Penn State is having a really underachieving season. They didn't think that they were going to be this bad for sure. And there's no shame in losing to number 2 Indiana, but you really had this one. I mean, they're a 6-loss team, but they really don't feel like it. That's what's funny about them. Like the amount of money and the amount of talent that is put onto that team, you wouldn't think that they'd be a 6-loss team. And maybe you could say that similar thing with Florida, where it's like the talent is there. They're just losing games. And kind of Mississippi State, like they took Texas and Tennessee to overtime and lost both. Like that's what we would like to see more from the Big Ten, I think, is just to be a deeper conference because you hear that all the time. It's tough to win on the road in the SEC,
Right.
but the reality is it's tough to win on the road anywhere. It really is. And we'll see some of these trap games that come up later that really is evident that it's just tough to go into a hostile environment in November in crunch time when it just means more and try to get a win. It just means more. That's the SEC slogan. I think it means more everywhere, but you know, like college football is that type of thing, like going on the road, and we'll see like Oregon struggled on the road, stuff like that, where it really is difficult. And just any win in November, like every team is going to have a game like this, and it's better to not have a cupcake schedule and then end up in those tight game situations. You need these types of games to build character, to build confidence if you want to be a national championship contender. Now, do you think Indiana is still the type of team after this game? I don't know. I still think they're really good, and I think losses or, close wins like this definitely build character for a team, and I think it's going to pay dividends when they get into the playoffs, Jack.
Yeah, for sure. I agree 100%. I think a win like this proves that you can not just blow out teams like they have against, like recently, UCLA. But to win like this just really is just so great for this team. And I know, like, Signetti, like, halfway through the game's like, well, they've never played this team. I know Indiana's never won here before, Penn State, but they've never played this team.
Like Indiana's never
Like,
played
imagine if Indiana lost, he would get destroyed on the internet for that.
I know.
But it's crazy. But I'm really glad that this, and I know some people don't like Cinderella story teams like these, like your Texas Techs this year, like your TCUs or your Tulanes, but it's just so
South Florida.
Yeah, USF as well. Yeah, or UCF in like 2018. Like I love stories like that, and I wish we see more of it. Like you don't just want the same blue bloods every year; it's going to get boring. So it's just really great. I just love the parody this year, especially this year. It's just so interesting to see, and yeah, I just love it.
Right. I do as well. And just in the month of November, it's really tough to get a win. And a lot of these teams really struggled, and some even lost. So just to get the win at all is huge. And I think this is just going to pay dividends in the future. And at the end of the day, Indiana, you still found a way to win in a tough environment against a team that has a lot of talent. And just the goal is get healthy, use these types of experiences to benefit you in the long run. Because when they got into situations like this, where they went into hostile environments, against teams that I know Penn State's record isn't good, but they're supposed to have more talent. You saw what happened last year. They caved against Ohio State. They caved against Notre Dame on the road. And I think they're a better team this year because they went to Kinnick Stadium and they gutted out one in the fourth. They went to Eugene and played in Autzen and played Oregon there. And they played really well, even better than they did against Iowa, where it's just like they're becoming a better road team. And you saw what they did against Illinois. They flattened them. And so we've seen what happens when they're at their peak, but when they're in tough games, in tough situations like this, they end up coming out the victor. This one was the most improbable, I'd say, out of all of them, but they find a way to win. And that's what good teams do. You got to find several different ways to win. You can't be one-dimensional. You got to find ways to win these games in November. And as evidenced by some of these teams that lost and they gutted one out, somehow found a way to win. You know how much motivation and influence this is going to have on the rest of their season. So at the end of the day, Indiana, you just got to get healthy. I still think you're a national championship contender. You don't want close calls like this, but you take this and you learn from it if you want to contend for a possible national championship.